Well, welcome back to Easy GURPS. Today, talking about grids. There's been a lot of comments, people surprised seeing square grids being used for GURPS, some of my previous GURPS videos. We've used square grids off and on for many years. We don't find it really makes that big of a difference. If you're going to get into real nitty-gritty facing tactics, it can make a bit of a difference because, of course, you have 8 sides basically around a square gridded character, so he could be surrounded by technically 8 guys in hexes around him, squares around him. Whereas on a hex map, wrong side there, throw that on there, you can only be surrounded by 6, so it doesn't make a big difference. It hasn't for us. Some people may find it is just too much of a difference for them to handle, but realistically for our combats, no person is ever really ganged up on by more than 3 people at a time ever anyways, maybe 4. And the hex grids are a lot harder to come by on bot maps like this, for instance. Like the animated maps all come in gridless or square grid. Now, the one difference here would be forward facing. What is your field of vision? So in a hex, in a square setup, we always just say from here all the way around to here is your forward facing field of vision, and these back 3 squares. Any attack from back there would be from behind, these being from the side, of course, and these being from the front. On hex, that is a little bit different. So you're facing this way. These would be front, these would be back, and this only is from behind. So take that into account if you're thinking about using square instead of hex. Again, we haven't, like I say, found it too big of a deal. There is the often forgot third method, and that would be using gridless. Now, the beauty of the downloadable maps online is that they usually come in gridded or gridless. And after, I haven't done it for any of my videos, but we used to play gridless a bit. And once you get into gridless, I actually prefer it. It's a lot of fun. It kind of frees up your imagination a little bit. For me, it does, at least. And the way we do that in GURPS is there's this thing called the handy good old GURPS range ruler. Put that in there so you can see that. And this is a free printout, and it gives you something you cut out here, and here's a second one, and you fold that in half to get yourself one of these. So this is your ruler that you can use for play. This is actually so it's got some witty stuff on here. It says there's instructions here how you can use it. Of course, you can download this for free at the warehouse23.com, I believe. You can just find it online easily enough with a Google search, but it's got some humor in it. Your foe thinks he can mock your crossbow because the range ruler only goes to 10 hexes. Think again, pin cushion. Lay out the ruler to its full 10 inches, and then flip it over for another 10 inch. Range is identified, twang, stuck. Some nice humor written into there. But on here you'll see it's got hexes, 1 inch hexes marked out each yard, and beside them the range or size modifiers for that range. So and then you can flip it over, so you can do end over end. So if you measure from this guy to here, and you still need to go a little further, flip like that, and the numbers continue along there, and the modifiers continue. So it actually gets a little bit quicker once you start using, if everybody's holding a range ruler, they can measure to where they want to go and measure their ranges for their ranged attacks. It's also got the speed, range, size modifier. It's all the same thing. It's all handled in there, and it's got less than 1 yard size modifiers as well. So if something's only 1 yard, it's -2 to hit because it's smaller. They also show nice, something I hadn't thought of until it mentioned it, but you can stand, so since this is just a fold in half ruler, once you cut it out, you can stand it up and use it as elevation for your monsters too. There's a beholder up there flying, floating, levitating, whatever he does. So yeah, that's the third option. And when moving around on a gridless map, it's pretty cool. For some reason, it makes me feel less constrained. Just you can move in any direction. Like this guy here, he's got 5 movement, so measure from there. He can move up to there into the bush maybe, and we'll measure that distance. This guy's got a ranged attack. He's looks like he's just over 2 yards, so that's a -1 to hit. -1 to hit, according to that there. So -1 to hit him, and vice versa. That's so that's a short rundown of grid options for GURPS, and why I use square, mostly out of convenience. But the gridless is a lot of fun, and maybe I'll start using the gridless more lately since I've been using so much gridded combat. I'll put the gridless combat methods on display, maybe more coming up. Roll on.